what's going on with TRVL? Well, I did a stream yesterday, and if anyone has missed my streams, then oh, censor out. Oh yeah, I probably should. I did a video yesterday on TRVL. You should go and have a look. I've got a playlist here, and if you look at my playlists, I've been making lots of videos so far to date. I've got 235 videos in my playlist. Not too shabby. I've pasted the link there. Oh my god, what's happened to my chat? My chat is lost. Oh okay, I think the internet is back. Testing. Yes. I had a slight break of my internet. I think I'm back now. So yeah, so I've done 235 videos on Dtravel and TRVL. I've got a playlist here on YouTube. I guess a lot of the content is repetitive, so I don't expect everyone to go and watch everything. I'm just keeping track of TRVL as a hobby, and obviously I have a vested interest in Dtravel. And if you don't know what Dtravel is, just go and have a look at the website. Effectively, it's a decentralized Airbnb, and it allows hosts and operators to rent out their apartments all around the world to travelers, to guests who are traveling without a middleman, without an intermediary, without someone in the middle taking their cut, Airbnb or booking.com, without them taking their money. And it allows the traveler and the host and the guest and the operator to deal directly, but it also allows them to have their own website, their own travel booking website, so people can view a person's own properties on their own website. And then it also allows them to check the availability, and it also allows the prospective travelers to reserve or to book the property and pay using whatever means has been enabled on the profile. And in this case, it's either with a credit card, with Google Pay, with Pix. I don't know what Pix is, and then with crypto. Okay, so there's options for payment, and the main benefit here is crypto, allowing people to pay using crypto. You can pay using Tether, USD on the base chain, Matic, TRVL for a 10% discount, or ETH. And then there's the newest addition here is the Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, which you can pay using that as well. That's a new addition, and soon we'll be able to accept Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. That's being developed. The great thing about these direct booking sites is that you can contact the hosts directly. You don't have to go through Airbnb. You don't have to hide yourself or pretend. You can just have a direct conversation and talk to them and ask them questions. And if you go up to the top there's contact options: WhatsApp, Instagram, email, phone number. So it's a decentralized Airbnb. And how does Dtravel make money? Well, Dtravel takes a small percentage which goes into the DAO. I think at the moment it's 3%. That is returned to the host, to the operator, in the form of TRVL tokens. That's part of the incentive, the early adopter incentive. And all the information is here. If you go into our website, if you look at the documentation, or you go to learn about Dtravel, you can understand what it is. You'll understand what we do, what we mean, who we are. This actually, the contributors, the leadership is changing, or has changed now, because Cynthia has just stood down as the CEO, and Eric is taking over as the CEO. And we got some really strong changes that have been made in the makeup and the structure of the leadership for Dtravel. Dtravel is changing, and it's becoming a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. And that's a really important transition stage, because it means that token holders will be able to own, run, manage, contribute to the development of this decentralized network. And what the one site I keep on sending people to is June, and this is a really important link, and I'll paste it into chat there. And here you can actually see the growth of our real world network. It's a really important. I'm going to try and get it to pop up on chat. I don't know why that's not working. Can you let me try that again? Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's the link. june.com/dtravel-dtravel-network-analytics. And here you can see the real world network growth, the number of signups, the number of listings, the number of cities, countries, booking value, GMV, and then you can see the growth of our real world network. Hey, Diffage, I hope it's not lagging. If it is, it must be my laptop overheating, because I'm right in the heat. I'm probably going to have to find a different spot if it is still lagging, because I watched the replay and the replay wasn't lagging. So the stream seems okay, but obviously there's something else going wrong if it's still lagging. You'll have to tell me. It's like really hot here, and it's morning as well. It's early morning. 7:37 a.m. I need a laptop cooler, huh? That's a good idea, huh? A laptop cooler. I stick it underneath the laptop just to cool it. So we have a really nice network that we're building, and I think it's a really good opportunity for people to get involved in this network that we're building. And as soon as it becomes a DAO, it becomes really community driven, because owners of the token will be able to contribute to the growth of what we're building together, which is a decentralized network of properties where people can rent across the world, you know. And I think that's a big deal, because Airbnb is not community driven, it's centralized. And as you can see, this is just like an Airbnb. It's just decentralized. It's basically the same thing, except I can go anywhere now here in Brazil, wherever this is, and I can now book an apartment just like I would on Airbnb, and it's the same thing basically. And I can vouch to that, because I have my own properties in London. I experienced exactly the same thing. There's no difference whatsoever, except I'm paying less. So there is a big difference. So let's have a look at the charts and see what's going on. Well, nothing much really. I mean, I only did a stream yesterday. So I don't think much, we weren't really going to expect much big changes since yesterday, were we? Let me just get rid of this chat. We have taken out that high. That was important. We had a sell-off into the news of the leadership changes happening. Okay. about I think two investors pulled out, whatever. Shit happens, you know, it is what it is. People come, people go. If those people who left aren't interested in a community driven, a community built, decentralized application, and so they can go, you know. That's just that's the nature of these projects, you know. People can buy, people can sell the token, they can participate, or they can leave. It's not a big deal, really. It's not a big deal. I don't think anyone was spooked by that. This is the overall point of control, and as you can see, the price is coming back to test this overall point of control, which is the point of control of all of the volume through the beginning, from the beginning through until now. Okay, the value area has moved a little bit, so the value area high has gone up a little bit, which is interesting, and the value area low has gone right down to the bottom. And you can see that the point of control here is going to act as big support right now. So we're coming to test the point of control. You can see that we're coming to test the point of control. You see that? Just underneath the point of control, there's a monthly level. Okay, so we have quite an important area of support that we're about to reach right now. I mean, in TRVL terms, it's still a distance. It's still like 8% lower. And that's the thing about this token. It's so small and it's so illiquid that even small moves have significant percentage increases or decreases. But I think that's probably where I'd want to see the price find support, if it wants to find support. Right now, we're kind of testing the golden pocket, but the 786 would bring us to the point of control and this monthly level. So I think at about 0076 area is the right place. And it's a little bit misleading, because if you do a trend-based fib here, the 618 takes us to this pivot low here. See that? And actually, you don't really want to go down there. What we really want to do is just find support here. That's really what we want to do here. This is the right place to find support. You've got a monthly level, you've got a 786 fib retrace level, and you've got this overall point of control. And actually, if you take it to this lower pivot here, from this fib retrace to the pivot high, you'll see that this area is the actual golden pocket of that full move. You see that? So we're coming into a really important area here. I feel that this is where we need to hold as support. Let me chuck in some anchored VWAPs here. Anywhere here. And that's kind of what I want to see, because I've been talking about this inverse head and shoulders for a while now. I don't know if you remember, but let me see if I can find it. If my laptop doesn't explode, I'll find it. How far shall I go back? I wonder if I did it on my first stream. Let's see. This is going back to my first stream on the 6th of July. In my nice room. There you go. What's that? What's that looking like? See that? I was doing it then, back then, an inverse head and shoulders. Let's go a bit further forward. So I mean, I do come up with lots of ideas, don't I? Like, I'm a bit mental when it comes to trying to predict the future. There it is. Inverse head and shoulders. There you go. There you go. Look, see that? That's if we don't take the high. That would have been a wedge. That's an inverse head and shoulders. Somewhere around there. All right. So I had that idea beforehand. If you see when I had that idea, that was 18th of July. And we're a month on now, and we're actually starting to see the idea play out, aren't we? All the way back from the beginning when I kind of imagined that we'd go up and take out that high. We're coming back now and we're trying to find support. This is a really important area, this right shoulder now. Okay. And we just have to see what happens. Like, no one can predict the future. No one really knows. Yeah, it's all speculative. It's all ideas of what could happen. Everyone has a potential of being wrong, even me. I was right in one sense that I picked the low. We took the high. I was right about that. And so I am still thinking to myself, inverse head and shoulders. And this is the right shoulder here. And this is the area that I want the shoulder to form. I don't want the shoulder to be a long shoulder. I want it to be as small as this shoulder here. Yeah. Kind of a minuscule shoulder. I don't want it to be a long drawn out shoulder. That won't make any sense. And possibly also there's a trend line here that needs to be touched. You see that? So there is a little bit of a trend line here rising, and you've got your important levels, which I've marked out but hidden. You've got let me pull them back in again. You've got your important volume level, which is the point of control. You've got your important higher time frame level, which is the monthly level. Okay, and if you go to the monthly time frame, you'll see that you have that monthly level from 2 months ago, which was, and we're just maybe coming to back test that, possibly coming back to back test that. We've also got the monthly open, and you know, like, we are coming to support right now. And so naturally, I just want to see us find support here. And you've got a fib retrace off this move. If you take the pivot low here from the July 4th, the July 6th move to there, you've got like a golden pocket area here. So I think this is the right area for us to try and find support. And then if we can go up and take out that high again, then we put in another low, higher low at the point of control, which would be great. And then we can start putting in higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Honestly, if we go up again and we take out that high, then I think this time we'll probably just kind of explode through it, probably. And in that case, I would be targeting 3 cents, 3.1, 3.2 cents. Yeah, I'd be thinking like that. I'd be thinking if this is what happened, that's what I'd be thinking. Now, to the downside, the risk is always possible that we can't find support here and we go much lower. And no one can predict what will happen then, okay? Because you still want to put in a higher low without taking the all-time low. But I think that in that case, we'd probably be just more range bound in the lows here. And we have to see what happens if that was to happen. I don't know what would happen if that was to happen. But obviously, I don't think it will happen. I think there's a lot of things happening in Dtravel which are positive, which are really bullish, and we just have to see how the market reacts to that. And also, I think Bitcoin is still in price discovery. ETH is consolidating underneath its own all-time high. There's a lot of positive signs in the market. August is over. It's almost coming to September. We have to see what happens in September. That's when the money comes back into the market. Let's see if the interest rates drop in America. There's a lot of things that could happen, which could have a positive impact on crypto and risk on assets. And that's kind of what I'm kind of expecting. I'm expecting a really nice run until December. Okay. So I kind of think this is the right area to, like, if no one has bought, we're coming into the nice area to buy. Yesterday was a pretty bearish daily candle because we closed lower than the previous day. So yesterday was a bad candle. Even though it closed below the previous day, it closed into that red wick. So it's not as bad as it could seem. And actually, we're just somewhere here, basically. We're somewhere here. That's where the price is. But really what we want is we want the price to find support here somewhere. And we'll see. We'll see how that happens. As it happens, you can see the price isn't selling off the way it used to. You remember TRVL, when you get crazy sell-offs, people just sell. Now we're getting really nice corrective price action. If this was it, if this was the end, that sell-off would have been sell and sell, and that's what we're used to, isn't it? But we're not getting that kind of price action. We're getting kind of sell, and then guess what? No more selling. It's just more kind of corrective. And the corrective is basically people who sold or taking profit, they're just buying back in. They're just buying back in. They're just scaling back in. That's what's happening now. So the market is scaling out, scaling back in, and that's how you form these bottoming patterns and these kind of rounding bottoms, etc., in the right areas. And so we are coming into the right area. All right. So that's TRVL. There's a few people watching.